everybody. Hope you had a fun spring break and were able to get outside and have seen some nice pretty flowers. Instead of having class in the classroom, as I'm sure you know, we're just doing it online, and I hope you are able to watch this video and set it up close to your keyboard and have your book handy. We're going to start out by looking at a new song, Scarborough Fair. It's on page 22 in your book, so go ahead and turn to that and we will sing through it. If you have never heard the version by Simon and Garfunkel, I would highly suggest that you look it up on YouTube. Your parents are familiar with it, I'm sure, but if you look up Scarborough Fair on YouTube, you will find it coming up with those two particular singers. They were recorded it back in the 60s. It was extremely popular on the radio, so we're going to be playing it. You can look at it and see it's going to be one of our new comping songs, so let's go through it. Rosemary and thyme, remember me to one that lives there. She once was a true love of mine. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one that lives there. She once was a true love of mine. Okay, let's look at the chords that go along with this song on page 23. Our key signature has one sharp, F sharp, but the song doesn't sound major, so it can't be G major. If we go 3 half steps below the G, 1, 2, 3, we can see that E minor is the relative minor. And sure enough, our first chord is an E minor chord. Mi, so, T is an E minor chord. Play that one. Mi, so, T is an E minor chord. Now because I'm playing this with 1, 3, 5 fingers, my D major, re, fi, la, with the sharp, I'm going to play with 1, 2, 4 like this. Re, mi, la, re, fi, la. 1, 2, 4, re, fi, la. Okay, so play that one and come back to your snowman. Go down and snowman. You can see that you can switch easily. 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 4 between those two chords. Now my G chord is a re, so, T. So I just move my thumb down, but keep the so and the T from my snowman chord. And that's my G chord. And then to play my A chord, I just move my whole hand up because it's also an up chord. So instead of re, so, T, I do mi, la, D. And that one sounds a little funny, but we'll find a spot for it in the song and it'll sound nice. So practice going between those and back to your E minor chord. Also, you want to go ahead and label the chords in your warm-ups. Label the chords in your warm-ups, which are right here. This one would be our E minor, our G chord, E minor, D chord, back to the E minor. So this will help you switch between all of those 3 chords. And then our warm-up number 2 is going to go from our E minor to our A and back to the E minor. So our snowman chord, our up chord. So label those and practice them. And if you remember, most of the time our warm-ups are going to be in the same order that we would play the chords in the song. Let's go back to the song now, and we're going to put in some of our chords. We talked about our key signature is E minor, and our first notes are E's. So, as you can imagine, we're probably going to start with an E minor, and that surely does sound correct. Are you going? And we also have the T, and T is also in my E chord, E minor chord. So we can play E minor for the first 2 measures, E minor and E minor. Now, right over here above Scarborough is a F, an F sharp. Which one of my chords has an F sharp? Oh, look, the D. So we'll put a D over Scarborough, and then we're back to the E in fair. Let's listen and see what that sounds like. E and E and D, then an E. So yes, that sounds correct. So go ahead and get those labeled. E, E, D, and E. Let's look at line 2. We have a T and a re, and if I look at my chords, I do have a T in the E minor, but I have a T and a re in the G chord. Let's see what G would sound like there. Parsley, that sounds nice actually. So let's try a G over this measure. And then on Sage, we're back to our E. So we would probably put an E over that one. The next measure has a C sharp and a T. So which one of those chords has a C sharp? Our A major. Let's see what that sounds like. Oh yeah, that's where that chord fits. It's right over Rosemary. And then when we get to time, we have a T. So we'll probably go back to our E. Let's listen to see what that sounds like. So we're going to start on G, on Parsley, then E, then A, then E. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. And sure enough, those chords sound great. So now that we've gone through the process on those 2 lines, I'd like for you to do that same process on the next 2 lines and fill in the chords on the rest of the song. As you know, you're going to be needing to send in video to me, and also I'd like for you to send pictures. So once you get all of your chords written on Scarborough Fair, if you could just email me a picture or text me a picture of that page, I will double check the chords with you and make sure that they're correct and send you some feedback. All right, we're going to be reviewing some intervals. We actually have, we know quite a few, so let's just give it a whirl. I'm going to play one, and you think about what you think it is, and I'll give you the answer. All right, if you said an eighth or an octave or the rainbow, either one of those is correct. How about this one? Doorbell. Good. All right. How about this one? Twinkle, twinkle. That one's a fifth. That is our star. Seventh. Good. Okay. Let's see. How about this one? That would be our fourth, the bride. Who knows this one? Doesn't sound major. You are right. It's a minor second. Here is the next one. The duck, or the major second. So now we have to differentiate major second or minor second. What is this one? My bond. Yes, it is the ship, or the sixth. Now listen to this one. Sounds like our ship has sunk a little bit. And that is a minor sixth. This is our major sixth for my Bonnie. And this is a minor sixth. One more I want you to try, and that is this one. That one also sounds minor, you're right, and it is a minor third. But you can tell the minor third is pretty close to one another, not as close as the minor second. And the minor sixth is a bit bigger of a stretch between those two notes. All right, I also need you to be sending me video. Our pass off for this week is "Oh dear, what can the matter be?" And I would like for you to send me a picture of your page if you could. Your page is so that I can see if you've written in your left-hand part and what that looks like, and if you're playing what you wrote for your left-hand part. And also, I'd like for you to send me video of Sonatina in C. That's going to be our next pass-off song. And by now, we should be able to play it with hands together. Now, if you're struggling playing it hands together, you can still play hands separately. And always, if you're struggling with a particular part, play it hands separately. But if you would, please send me video of your Sonatina in C. Okay, let's all turn in our books now to page 15. We're going to be doing the Music Maker number 1, and we're going to do the key of B minor. We've already done the key of D major. You should already have some things written in on that, but this time we're going to do the key of B minor. So I'm going to play them for you, and we're going to sing the notes. Notice our key signature. We have F sharp and C sharp. And the first one goes like this. T, re, mi, fi. T, re, mi, fi. The second one. Re, re, di, di, ti. Re, re, di, di, ti. Number 3. Ti, fi, fi, mi, re, di, ti. Ti, fi, fi, mi, re, di, ti. Number 4. Ti, ti, fi, re, mi, di, ti. Ti, ti, fi, re, mi, di, ti. Now I'm going to play one of them, you know the drill, and figure out which one I played and write it in the first measure here. Goes like this. I'll play it again. So figure out which one that one was and write it right here. If you need to take a little time, you can pause the video while you fill in your answer. I'm going to go ahead and do the second one that I'd like for you to put right here, and it is this. I'll play it again. So whatever that one was, fill it in right here. Next one I'm going to play is this one. Again, pause the video if you need a little more time to write it down. But in the sake of space, I'm going to go ahead and do the last one, which you probably should know by process of elimination, but it is this. Once you have all those filled in, I'll go ahead and give you the answers. The first measure was number 2. Re, re, di, di, ti. The second one I played was number 4. I hope you recognize the octave at the beginning, the octave interval. So that would have been right here. The next one I played was number 3, which started with a 5th instead of an octave. Re, fi, fi, mi, re, di, ti. Would have gone here. And the last one, of course, would have been number 1. Ti, re, mi, fi. Okay, let's turn in our books now to page 18 and 19. This is a new song we're going to be learning. It's a Japanese folk song, as you can see, named Sakura, and you might have heard of it before. You might have heard this melody. I'm going to play it for you. I want you to be thinking about some word that you would use to describe it. Now, I also want to point out I'm going to be playing it with a pedal. This is the right pedal. I would play the right pedal with my right foot. And if you'd like to experiment with playing the pedal on this one, you can. So here is Sakura. Sounds like this. So you'll notice that my tempo is moderato. It doesn't go super fast, it doesn't go super slow, and it does have lots of dynamic changes, and that makes it sound a lot more musical. You'll notice it uses a lot of 8VA. You might want to go ahead, if you've got a highlighter at home, highlight those places that are 8VA. We have some right here at the beginning. We also have some here on the second page. We're going to stay 8VA for all 4 of these measures, come back down to where it's written, and then go back 8VA for the rest of the song. Now, we're only going to play our right hand 8VA. It's above the treble clef, and that means our right hand will go and play 8VA, but our left hand will not. Our left hand will stay where it's written. If they had wanted both hands to play 8VA, they would have had to write both hands 8VA on that 8VA. All right, let's look at warm-up number 1 right up here. This is just like the intro. We're going to start 8VA, and we're going to play Ti, La, Fa, Ti, Ti, La, Fa, move down, Ti, La, Fa, Ti, Ti, La, Fa, because this is not 8VA. And you need to be able to make that 8VA jump from up to back to written notes very quickly. So be sure that you're kind of looking to see where your hand needs to go to quickly play that. This week we're just going to be playing the right hand on Sakura, the right hand part. So let's just walk through it. We're going to start here 8VA, an octave higher, and play Ti, La, Fa, Ti, Ti, La, Fa. Now move down and play Ti, La, Fa, Ti, Ti, La, Fa with a little retardando. Now we stay where we are and play La, La, Ti, La, La, Ti, La, Ti, Do, Ti, La, Ti, La, Fa. And that's all in that same hand position. Now at the top of page 2, I'm going to put 3 on Mi. If you look at your hand, you have your thumb on Fa. So to get 3 on Mi, all you have to do is cross over. 3 on the Mi. Now put you in Do position, and you play Mi, Do, Mi, Fa, Mi, Do. Cross over to the Ti. Now big jump to my 8VA. La, Ti, Do, Ti, La, Ti, La, Fa. Again, you're doing the same thing you did before. Cross over 3 to the Mi. Mi, Do, Mi, Fa, Mi, Do. Cross over to the Ti. Now, this looks higher than where you are, but because I'm not 8VA anymore, this is actually right where I am. I have 2 on Ti. This is the La right below this Ti. So I play La, La, Ti. Now I jump up. La, La, Ti. Stay there. Play Re, Mi, Fa. I have to reach a little for the Re. I have to reach a little for the Ti. Ti, La, Fa, Mi. So try practicing that right hand. If you have any problems with it, just send me some video. I'd be happy to send some feedback. Let's go to our binders now. Go get out your binder. I'm curious to see what you wrote for your sentence to remember your order of sharps, and also what you added to the bead to remember your order of flats. If you could take a picture of that and send it to me or email it to me. I would also like to see a picture of your practice page. And if you could send me video of your sight reading transposed to either E minor or B flat major, whichever one you'd like to do. So pictures of those would be great. Let's turn now to week 5, and let's look at our sight reading for week 5. First of all, I'd like to point out our key signature, 2 flats, B flat and E flat. The way we would find our key signature, it's B flat because it's the next to the last flat. And we're going to start on Te. Te, Do, Re, Me, Fa. Okay, so if you just get that hand position, Te, Do, Re, Me, E flat, Fa. This is, if you look through it, you can see it's all in that 5-finger pattern. You don't need to move your hand. Keep those fingers on the black keys. Your thumb is on Te. Your fourth finger is on May. So keep those black keys under your fingers. Let's point and sing our notes first. 1, 2, mark them if you need to. Te, do, re, mi, fa, 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 mi, re, do, te, te, do, do, fa, mi, re, do, re, te, 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 do, re, mi, fa, 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 mi, re, do, te, te, do, 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 mi, re, do, te, te, te. Have, play and sing your notes. It's mi, fa, 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 mi, re, do, te, te, do, do, fa, mi, re, do, re, te, 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 do, re, mi, fa, 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 mi, re, do, te, te, do, 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 mi, re, do, te, te, te. You'd also want to sing and your intervals, which is, these are just te, up, 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 stays the same, down, 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 stays the same, up a second, stays the same, up a fourth, down, 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 up a second, down a third, stays the same, same, up, 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 stays the same, down, 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 stays the same, up a second, stays the same, up a third, down, 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 stays the same. And some of those, that third interval right here and right here, you might want to circle those just because thirds and seconds are a little more difficult to tell apart. Lastly, grab your pencil and write in the counting, and then play it while chanting the counting, which would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... We've talked about this before. When we have lots of eighth notes, our quarter notes, sometimes we play too fast. So write your counting as with the plus sign, even on the ones that are quarter notes. Just count in eighth notes all the time and you'll be sure to get those quarter note rhythms correct. Our theory is going to be making a scale triad out of the B flat scale. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stack a triad on each of these chords. If you look back at week 3, you remember we did the same thing with a D major scale. So we're going to do it with this one. I would do a space note on Re, a space note on Fa. They've already marked my flat for the Te. I would put a line note on Mi and a line note on So. And now I need to remember that in B flat scale, E is going to need a flat sign. So my Mi right here is going to need a flat sign, just like this one has a flat sign. So go ahead and stack a triad on each of those. Go through and find all your Bs and mark them as B flats. Go through and find all your E's and mark them as E flats. Okay, that's pretty much all the video we have. I've tried to introduce all of the new things. There's some other things that you can go back and do. We were supposed to be passing off this spring as an ensemble. If you'd like to, if you could play one of your favorite parts along with the recording and send me a video of that, that would be great. Also, please review your scale triads. Start with the B flat one after you finish filling in all those triads. Try playing that B flat slowly. Review your D that we did on week 3, and then also play your F scale triad, your G scale triad, and your C scale triad, and review those. Also, if you would listen to Ein Klein Night Music, which is number 11 on your recording, that's going to be a new ensemble that we're going to be working on. Ein Klein Night Music means a little night music. It's written by Mozart, and I think you have probably heard it at school perhaps, or heard it somewhere. It'll sound familiar to you, and we're going to start learning that next week. Anyway, have a great week. I look forward to seeing all of your pictures and videos. If you have any questions at any time, you can always text me or send me an email. My contact information is on the front of your binder, my cell phone number and my email address. So anyway, keep practicing and we will see you next week.